This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous session, we have discussed about the Force.com platform, and we have discussed what exactly the Force.com platform and what is the use, and what we can do with the help of Force.com platform. We have discussed in the last session. Now, today we see the various types of customizations that we can do as part of Salesforce. How can we do the customizations in Salesforce? We will see practically. And what exactly the difference between the various types of customizations. Now, so now we'll see the various types of customizations in Salesforce. Whenever we are customizing the Salesforce applications, we have two types of customizations in Salesforce. Okay, we have two types of customizations. We have two types of customizations in Salesforce. Upon customizing the application features, that means we can able to arrange that existing features also, or we can able to add some additional features also to the existing applications. Those features are called as customizations. Now, as part of Salesforce, we have two types of customizations available. First one is declarative customizations. Second one, programmatic customization. Declarative customizations. Second one, programmatic customizations. These are the two types of customizations are available in Salesforce: declarative, programmatic. So now tell me, what do you mean by declarative? What do you mean by programmatic? Declarative in the sense what? Programmatic in the sense what? Declarative in the sense. Declarative in the sense without using any programming language, without writing any coding part, without writing any business logic. That means declarative means no code. Okay, declarative means no coding, without writing any code, without using any business logic, without having any technical skills, without using any programming languages, we can able to implement the application features. Now, so as of now, from the beginning of our course till now, almost 2 months, okay, almost 2 months, we have implemented so many features. Like we have created some applications, objects, fields, page layouts, record types, workflows, process builders, security features, assignment rules, sharing rules, and then we have configured the various processes by using process builder, data management, reports and dashboards, approval processes, so many things we did as of now. Now tell me, in these features, anywhere have you written even a single line of code? No. We haven't written even a single line of code also. We don't have any technical skills. We don't know any programming languages. Without using any programming languages, without having any technical skills, just by using some navigations, just by using some point and click option, just by using the most pointers, we have implemented so many functionalities as of now. Whatever the features we are implementing, just by using some mouse pointers, without having any technical skills, without using any programming languages, without writing any code, those customizations are called as declarative customizations. Now, so now declarative customizations doesn't expect any programming language. It doesn't expect any coding skills. No need to have any programming knowledge. Just by using that navigation, just by using some mouse pointers, we can able to implement all the features whatever you need. Okay, now, so in this case, declarative customizations doesn't require any technical skills, which can be performed through mouse pointers. Now, let me give the notepad. Declarative customizations can be implemented with the help of mouse clicks. With the help of mouse clicks. Mouse clicks. Now, so now tell me, do we have any advantage in this declarative customizations? Do we have any benefits? Yes, there are some benefits are available. There are some benefits. So what are the benefits here? Declarative customizations doesn't require any technical skills. It doesn't require any programming knowledge. The people who is implementing the features through mouse pointers, they no need to have any technical background. They need not be from the computer background. They no need to have any programming language skills. They no need to have any coding skills. Even though he is from non-technical background also, even though he is a layman also, if you know the navigation, if you know that flow, then he can able to implement just by using some mouse clicks. So that this is one of the major benefit. This is one of the major benefits. Why? Because as of now, okay, as of now, since the beginning of the coding part, since the beginning of the programming languages, okay, long back, people has created some phobia. Programming in the sense it's a very difficult. The people has created a phobia like, so now programming in the sense is difficult. But Salesforce wants to avoid that phobia from the people. Salesforce wants to avoid that phobia from the people. That's what they have given so many features to you as part of configuration. As part of configuration, as part of admin, Salesforce has given plenty of features to you, so many out-of-the-box features to you, so many ready-made features to you through which we can able to implement the application functionalities just by using some mouse clicks. That's what here, so many people are showing interest to learn Salesforce. Because coding part is very, very minimal in Salesforce, because most of the features are configurable features which can be done through mouse pointers. As of now, we have spent 2 months of time on admin part. Almost 2 months we have spent on admin. Have we written any code, even a single line of code? No. We haven't written anything. We didn't learn any programming languages. We didn't have any technical skills, but even though we are able to implement so many features by using the configuration features, those are called as declarative customizations. Now, so as part of this declarative customizations, it doesn't require any programming skills, okay, which can be implemented just by using some mouse clicks. Now, the first benefit is declarative customization doesn't expect. That means doesn't require any programming languages. We no need of using any programming languages. That is the first benefit. Second benefit is the people who is working on declarative features, they no need to have any coding background. They no need to have any coding background. Now, the people no need to have any technical skills. Technical skills are coding skills. Even though if he is a layman, if he is a small kid also, if I'm explaining the navigation, then he can able to implement very easy. Now, in this case, there is no coding, there is no programming languages. Now tell me, is it easy to implement, right? Yes. So without programming, if I'm implementing through mouse pointers, it's very easy. So that here, declarative customizations are easy to implement. Easy to implement. This is the third major benefit. Now tell me, in this case, if you are implementing all the features through by using mouse pointers, then will it take less time or more time? Less time. Why? Because if I'm writing that code, then coding will be very huge. We need to write some hundreds of lines of code, so it will take more time. So in this case here, if it is a declarative, we are not writing any code. Everything we are going to be operating through mouse pointers only here, so that we can able to implement the features very fastly, so that time will be getting reduced. So in this case, we can develop the application features very fastly. Now, we can achieve the faster application development. Faster application development. We can develop the application features very fast. So now, even though, suppose for example, let me give you one general scenario. I have given an assignment to you to create one object. To create one object. First time, upon creating the object, it might be taking some time for you to create the object because you have to go with the navigation next like that. If I'm giving the same requirement next second time, what you will do? Will you be able to implement very fastly, right? Yes, because already we did some practice. Already we know the navigation. Just we can enter some data, click on next, we can implement very easy. So for that reason here, when coming to the declarative customizations, it won't take much time. Application development will be very, very faster. If the application development is very faster, then it will be taking very less time. So now here we can reduce the application development time. It will reduce the application development time. Why? Because we are not writing any code. So the everything we are implementing through mouse pointers over here. So it will be reducing the application development time. If the development time has been reduced, what about the budget? If the time is reduced, automatically budget also will be getting reduced. So now it reduces the budget. It will reduce the budget. These are the various benefits are available as part of declarative customizations. Whenever we are implementing the features by using mouse pointers, that means by using configuration, by using admin features, these are the various benefits are available. Because admin features doesn't require any coding part, it doesn't require any technical skills. We no need to have any coding background. Everybody can implement very easily. That's what it will take very less time. Application development will be very faster. It will be saving your time. It will be saving your budget also. These are the various benefits are available when coming to the declarative customizations. Now, so upon implementing the declarative features, that means through mouse pointers, upon implementing the features, sometimes we have identified some limitations. We have identified some difficulties. We have identified some difficulties also. Then, to avoid those difficulties, we are going to be using the help of programmatic customizations. Now, so now tell me, can you give me some list of limitations which you are facing as part of configuration? That means which are not possible through mouse pointers. Can you give me some list of limitations? Anyone? So that we can identify. So these are the various limitations are there in the configuration features. For that one, we are going for development. That means programmatic customizations. Anyone? Can you give me some limitations or some features so which are not possible to admin?
Hi, Feroz. There is one particular limitation, I guess, when we have workflow and email alerts where we can go ahead and send the email intimation to the user, but it doesn't allow us to send the attachments or something, customization attachments. So for that, I think we definitely require the coding
right
thing.
Correct. Any more thing? One limitation has identified. Correct. Next. Any more limitation have you identified?
We can't delete the records one by one in programmatic computations. We can delete many more records at a time, sir.
Okay, right. Next.
Enhancements on reports and dashboards.
Multiple records at the same time, sir.
Any more limitations?
If there is any requirement from the business side wherein they want to go ahead and add a particular design or a user interface with specific features, once this is clicked, it should move to some external application. Even that time, the coding would be required.
Okay.
We cannot convert
in email alerts. We gain declarative customization, we get only email alerts. We send only. In programmatic, we can get the email alerts and also we can send also. Both.
Okay, right. That means through workflow, simply we can send the email notification. Through programming, we can send the email notifications, we can receive the email notifications also, both. Now,
Any change in the UI we can do.
okay. Now, so let me give you some list of limitations, which enforce you to go to the development. Why? Because sometimes in the entry point of view, they will raise a question. In Salesforce, we have so many out-of-the-box features. Those are called as over-TV features. Out-of-the-box features means what? Ready-made features which have been given by Salesforce, like as workflows, validations, sharing rules, formulas, assignment rules, process builder. These are all comes under out-of-the-box features. Ready-made features which have been given by Salesforce to automate our business processes. Even though we are having so many out-of-the-box features, why should we go for development? What are the scenarios, which enforce you to go to the development? Sometimes they will ask you to explain this question. So please give me some list of features, in your project, where you have implemented to development. Now, let me explain some features. Let me explain some requirements, which especially enforce you to go to the development. For example, let me explain one by one, each and every feature. Now, the first one. The first limitation is, let me show. For example, I have a position object. In this position object, I'm having so many fields are there. So many fields are there, which I have placed these fields in the various sections. Whatever the fields are available inside my position object, position is my custom object. It's my custom object which we have created as part of configuration. We have added so many fields inside this. Now, whatever the fields are available inside this particular page layout, this is the page layout. Whatever the fields are available in this object, I want to arrange these fields. So that here we went to the page layout customization. We have added the various sections: information section, milestone details section, compensation details section, additional information section, position description section. These are all the sections which we have implemented. We have added all these sections through configuration features by using mouse pointers. So now tell me, my client has given a requirement to me. Whatever the fields are there inside my object, I want to arrange the fields in 3 columns. In one column, I want to arrange some fields. In second column, I want to arrange some fields. In third column, I want to arrange some fields. Is it possible or not? I want to arrange the fields on the page layout in 3 columns. Is it possible?
No, it's not possible. It can be possible via the Visualforce.
Okay, now in this case, what happened that already told you during the page layout customization. Page layout customization will allows you to arrange the fields either in 1 column or maximum in 2 columns, not more than that. Whenever if you got this kind of requirement inside your project, like if the client asks you to place the fields in 3 columns, then the only solution is programmatic customization. Because through mouse pointers it is not possible. Because when you try to customize this page layout, let me show you that. When you try to edit that page layout, it will allows you to arrange the fields either in 1 column or maximum of in 2 columns. When you go to the section properties, when you go to the section properties, it is asking you to arrange the fields either in 1 column or maximum of in 2 columns, not more than that. But my requirement is I want to arrange the fields in 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns, 10 columns, and how? In this case, declarative customization won't support. In this case, we have to go with programmatic customization, which can be implemented through Visualforce. This is the first requirement, is the first use case which will enforce you to go to that development part. So you can explain to the client, so boss, this is not at all possible through configuration. We have to go to development, and especially this is the user interface. So we have to design the Visualforce program. For that one, we need this much of time to develop this. We have to do the right analysis. If you do the right analysis, then we can give the right estimation. That is most important. Analysis part is more important as part of real-time implementations. Okay, this is the first one. Next. Second, let me explain one more. Now the second. For example, I'm creating some records inside my object. So my client asked me to add the validations on this particular fields. Like for example, assume that I have an object. I have an object. In my object, I'm having 400 fields. 400 fields. So my client requirement is, my client asked me to add the validation rules on 200 fields. 200 fields to make them required. I want to make 200 fields as mandatory. 200 fields as mandatory. So now how many validation rules I need to create? 200 validation rules. So now tell me, can I create 200 validation rules on a single object? No. No, it's not possible. Why? Because Salesforce will allow you to create maximum of 100 active validation rules. Maximum of 100 active validation rules per an object. So for an object, you can create maximum of 100 active validation rules, not more than that. But my client is expecting, you asked me to make that 200 fields mandatory by creating the 200 validation rules. Now, in this case, we can't create 200 validation rules on an object because Salesforce won't support it. Salesforce has given the limitation to you that we can create maximum of 100 active validation rules, not more than that. In this case, what we can do, we can go with that customizations. In programmatic customizations, especially, we can go with the triggers. Just by using a single trigger on that object, we can do the validation for n number of fields. Okay, we can do the validation for n number of fields. That means we no need to create 200 triggers. We can create just one trigger. That one trigger can capable to handle the 200 fields validations in one shot. That possibility is available over here. So in this case, whenever if you want to create more than 100 validation rules for an object, then Salesforce won't allow. Then at that time we can go with that programmatic customizations, which can be done through with the help of triggers features as part of Apex program. Okay, now this is the second use case which enforces you to go to the development part. Next, third one. For example, assume that I'm going to sharing the records. Okay, I'm having one account record. I want to share this account record over here. I want to share this account record. Whenever you are sharing the account record to the people, how many ways are available to share the record? How many ways are available? How many ways are there to share a record? Already we have discussed during the sharing concept. Okay, during the sharing concept as part of configuration, as part of security features, we have discussed about the sharing process. We have discussed about the sharing feature over there. Now, we have discussed about the sharing feature. So this is the sharing feature which we have discussed. So whenever I'm going to be sharing the record to the people, we have how many types of sharing mechanisms are available? We have 3 types. First one is manual sharing, second one is automated sharing, third one is Apex sharing. You know how to share the record manually. How to share the record manually to a single user to the multiple users by creating the public groups. How to share the record through automated processes by using sharing rules, by using the criteria-based sharing rules, owner-based sharing rules, both we know that. And now in this case here, sometimes I want to share the record through programmatically. So for that one, we have a feature called as Apex sharing. Now tell me how can we implement this Apex sharing through Apex programming. That means as part of development, we have to write some code. Through that code, I would like to share the record. Through that Apex programming language, I would like to share that record to that required people which are dynamically at runtime. That possibility is available. So now in this case, whenever you are sharing the record, okay, we would like to go with that Apex sharing mechanism also. So Apex sharing is one of the feature which is used to share the record to the required people dynamically at runtime through programming. By using the Apex programming language, we can able to share the record to one or more number of users by deciding the users dynamically at runtime. That flexibility is available as part of this Apex sharing, which can be done with the help of Apex programming through with the help of triggers. This is one more feature, okay, which enforces you to go with that programmatic customizations. Next. Now, after that, we have discussed about the assignment rules. Okay, we are going to be assigning that record to the required people, nothing but transferring the record ownership. Okay, transferring the record ownership over there. So now whenever we are going to be transferring the record ownership, so how many ways are available here? We are going to be transferring the record ownership with the help of by using assignment rules. Okay, with the help of assignment rules, we can able to assign the records over there. Now, so now whenever we are going to be assigning the records to the required people, we are going to be having the various assignment rules are available. Like as we are having lead assignment rules and the case assignment rules are available. Okay, we have lead assignment rules and then case assignment rules are available. But sometimes we can able to transfer the records, other object records also into the queue. Then what we can do in this case? Like for example, during that queues concept. See, upon transferring these records, okay, to the respective queues, already we have discussed this concept during that security. Whenever we are going to be transferring the records to the respective queues, we are going to be using a feature called as assignment rules. So whenever we are assigning the records to the user, we have two types of manual transfer and then automated transfer. So automated transfer can be done with the help of assignment rules. So what are the various types of assignment rules are available? In Salesforce, we have two types, like as lead assignment rules and case assignment rules. But lead assignment rules are used to assign the lead records to the respective user or queue, and the case assignment rules are used to assign the case records to the respective users of the queue. But sometimes I want to assign the other object records also, because queue will be having some supporting objects. Queue is having some supporting objects. What are the various objects the queue can store inside it? What are the various object records the queue can store inside this? Queue is having the various supporting objects also available. That already told you during the configuration concept. During the configuration, as part of security, I already given that whole information. These are the list of almost so many features, around almost some 60 to 50 to 60 features we have discussed as part of these queues. So now, as part of this queue supporting objects, we have discussed the various objects. Queue will be supporting us to store. These are the various queue supporting objects are available. Queue will support us to store the lead records, case records, feedback object, feedback question set, feedback template, feedback request, performance cycle, metric, goal, macro, knowledge article version, user provisioning request, authorization form consent, coaching, quick text, scorecard, like that. These are the various objects along with all the custom objects it will support. These are the various queue supporting objects are available. That means these are the various object records we can place inside the queue. In this case, so to assign this lead records to the queue, we have lead assignment rules. To assign this case record to the queue, we are having case assignment rules are available here. Then what about that? Okay. Then what about that custom objects here? That already have given this information. Automated process, automatical transfer will be done with the help of assignment rules. So we have lead assignment rules and the case assignment rules. Then what about the custom objects? We are using custom assignment rules. How can we implement by using programming? This is the case which enforces you to go to that development also over there. Whenever if you want to implement the custom assignment rules to assign that custom object record to that queue, then we have to go with that custom assignment rules. This is one of the use case which enforce you to go to that development part. That means programmatic customizations. And then now when coming to that workflow rules or process builder, upon sending the email notification through workflow rule or process builder, so we can able to send the email notification to the required people by giving the required subject and content through email template. But we can't add any attachments. Okay, we can't add any attachments. But in some cases, I want to send the email notifications along with an attachment also. Okay, along with an attachment also over here. But in this case, declarative features will not support. We have to go with programmatic features also. And whenever we are managing the records here through declarative, we can create only one record at a time. We can modify only one record at a time. We can delete only one record at a time. But through programming, we can perform the operations on bulk records in one shot. We can manage multiple records in one shot. We can insert multiple records. We can update multiple records. We can delete multiple records. We can undelete multiple records. We can merge the multiple duplicate records into a single record also. All these operations we can do with the help of programmatic customization. That means these are the various features which are not possible through configuration. Through declarative features, these are not possible. At that time, we can go with that programmatic customizations. Okay. Now, in this case, how to implement the programmatic customizations? Programmatic customizations can be done with the help of Force.com platform. In Force.com platform, what are the programming languages that we have? Apex programming and Visualforce programming. Yesterday, we have discussed that as part of Force.com platform, we are having two programming languages are available, Apex programming and Visualforce programming. Now, let me give that note point here, programmatic customizations. Now, upon implementing the features, by using mouse pointers or the mouse clicks, few complex requirements will not be configurable. That means these are not possible through configuration. So in this case, we can implement the complex requirements through programmatic customizations, which can be implemented or which can be done with the help of Force.com platform. which can be done with the help of FlowStatCom platform. That is, we can implement the features by writing the code through programming languages. Through programming languages supported by the FlowStatCom platform. Supported by the FlowStatCom platform. So in this case, what happened? Programmatic customizations can be done with the help of Apex programming and Visualforce programming. So programmatic customizations can be done with the help of Apex programming and Visualforce programming. With the help of Apex programming and the Visualforce programming, we can able to implement programmatic customization. That means any operation we can able to do with the help of programmatic customizations. Because when you go to this declarative, there are some limitations are there. But in programmatic customization, there is no limitations at all. Each and every functionality we can implement. It may be simple requirement also. It may be complex requirement also. Any operation, any functionality we can implement through programmatic customizations, which can be done with the help of Apex and Visualforce program. Okay, these are the two types of customizations are available when coming to your Salesforce. Okay, so now as part of this programmatic customizations, we are going to be using the help of Apex programming and Visualforce programming. Then first we'll see Apex programming. What exactly Apex programming language? What is the use? What we can do with the help of this Apex programming language, and then how to implement this code through Apex programming. What are the various fundamental building blocks are available? What are the various syntactical rules and the principles and the standards and the guidelines we need to follow upon writing the code? We'll see each and everything one by one. Okay. Now, so let's go with that Apex program.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
How will the client be able to differentiate if we have done the program? I mean, if we done through programming or using this admin concepts?
Now that we have to decide, because requirements are going to be assigning to you. That requirement may be assigning by your technical lead also, or it may be picking up by you also, no problem, anything. So whenever you got a requirement as a developer, we have to decide. Okay, we have to identify whether it is possible through configuration or not. If it is possible through configuration, that means through mouse pointers, then how much time it will take? And then if it is not possible through configuration, then we have to go to development. So in this case, what we need to do? We need to write one Apex class, or we need to write a trigger, we need to design a Visualforce page, or what we need to do. For that one, how much time it will require here? So that we have to decide as a developer, not the client. Because client simply know the business. He doesn't know the technicality of Salesforce. Sometimes from the client side, there may be some technical guy will be available. He will give you the guidance over here. We can go with configuration, or you can go with the development, because he is also know same features are available in his account, in our account also. Okay, so that here we have to identify that whether it is possible through configuration or we have to go with the development. We have to decide. Based on that, we have to give that estimation. We need this much of time. So based on that, client will approve the budget so that we can start implementing the features.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now, so now let's see this. Now let's see the Apex programming part. Then what exactly the Apex programming language? What is the use? What we can do with the help of this Apex programming language? Now let's see. And how an Apex program will get executed internally, we'll see the Apex programming execution lifecycle also. Now, so when coming to the Apex programming, Apex is one of the programming language which has been given by Salesforce as part of FlowStatCom platform. So this Apex programming is What type of programming language? Because when you go to the programming languages, we have various types of programming approaches, like procedure-oriented programming languages, object-oriented programming languages, component-oriented programming languages, message-oriented or service-oriented programming languages. These are the 4 categories are available. Now this Apex comes under which category? So Apex is one of the object-oriented programming language. Apex is one of the object-oriented programming language, which has been given by Salesforce as part of Force.com platform. Then if it is a programming language, like some C++, like some Java, like C++ is also one of the object-oriented programming language. Java, C#, .NET, Visual VB.NET, these are all comes under object-oriented programming languages. Now, like the similar way, Apex is also one of the object-oriented programming. So now, do we need to install this Apex programming language into a local system? No, because Apex programming is purely a cloud-based programming language, which does not require any installations. Okay, which doesn't require any installations. We no need to install anything into your local system. Everything can be accessible through browser and the internet access. So whatever the code we are going to write, that code we can implement through the browser. We can compile the code through the browser. We can save the code through the browser. We can execute the code through the browser. We can see the result inside the browser. Everything we can able to operatable through browser only. So that here we no need of any installation, because Apex is one of the cloud-based object-oriented programming language. It is one of the cloud-based object-oriented programming language. Now, let me give the notepad. Apex is a cloud-based object-oriented programming language. Oriented programming language which doesn't require any installations. We no need to install anything into our local system. Now, so in this case, when coming to the Apex programming is a object-oriented programming language. It is an object-oriented programming language. As part of object-oriented programming language, every business logic will be implemented in the form of a class and the objects. Each business logic, whatever the code we are going to write as part of Apex programming language, each and every code, each and every business logic we are implementing in the form of classes and objects. We'll see what exactly a class, what exactly object, how to implement each and everything one by one. We'll see practically when entering into the concept. I will give you each and every information from the fundamental to the advanced part. Now, so that here, as part of Apex programming, Apex is an object-oriented programming language. So each business logic, whatever the business logic we are implementing through Apex programming language, that can be implemented in the form of classes and objects. Because that already told in the yesterday's session, Apex programming is especially used to implement the custom business logic. Visualforce is used to design user interfaces. So whatever the business logic we are implementing through Apex programming, we can implement in the form of classes and objects. Now, each business logic should be implemented in the form of classes and objects. By using Apex programming language, we are implementing the custom business logic. So this custom business logic should be implemented in the form of classes and objects. Now, so now tell me, when coming to the Apex programming, is it comes under declarative customization or programmatic customization? Declarative means what? No coding, we are not using anything. So no need of Apex programming. But in the programmatic customization, we are using the help of Apex programming. So that here Apex programming comes under declarative programmatic customization. Now, Apex programming comes under the programmatic customization. Apex programming comes under the programmatic customizations because we are writing the code, okay, by using some programming language. For that one, Salesforce has given this Apex programming as part of Force.com platform. Now, so now here in this case, by using this Apex programming language, okay, by using this Apex programming language, what we can do? With the help of this Apex programming language, we can implement the complex validations. Okay, we can implement complex validations and the complex business logics also, and the complex transactional flows we can implement. Whatever the complex requirements you want as part of your application requirement, which are not possible through configurations, which are not possible through mouse pointers, those we can implement with the help of Apex programming by writing some code. So Apex programming is used to implement the complex business logic. If it is not at all possible through configuration or admin, then only we can go with the development part by using Apex programming. Now, so by using Apex programming, we can implement the complex validations, complex business logics, and the complex transactional flows. So by using this Apex programming language, we can implement the complex validation, like as deduplication processes also. That means duplication elimination mechanisms also we can implement. We can implement some more number of validations also. Custom validations we can implement. Complex business logics also we can implement. The transactional flows also we can implement with the help of this Apex programming language. That is possible. Now, so in this case, by using this Apex programming language, we are writing so many lines of code. Now, upon writing this code, now tell me, do I need to follow any case sensitivity? Like for example, when you go to few programming languages, upon writing the code, we have to follow the case sensitivity. Like if some characters are uppercase, some characters are lowercase. Do I need to follow like that? No. Apex programming is not at all case sensitive. You can use any character case upon writing the code. So Apex programming is not a case sensitive programming. Upon writing that code through Apex programming, you can follow any character case. It may be all are uppercase, all are lowercase, a combination of both also we can use upon writing that code. There is no such restriction. This is one of the major benefits for the developers. Like for example, when you go to Java programming, Java is purely case sensitive. Upon writing the code, few characters you have to write in uppercase, few characters you have to write in lowercase, because that is a limitation. But remembering those kind of things is very, very difficult, right? Yes. So how can we remember all these things? It will be very, very difficult because we are the human beings. We have very small chip in our mind, so we can't store all this information. It will be very difficult to remember. So in this case, Salesforce has avoided the problem in Apex programming, that they have designed this Apex programming in such a way, upon writing that code, we no need to follow any case sensitivity. Now, so Apex is not a case sensitive programming. As Apex is not a case sensitive programming. Upon writing the code, we can follow any character case. Upon writing the code, we can follow any character case. That possibility is available to you. While writing that business logic by using Apex programming, we can follow any character case as well. Now, in this case, while writing the code by using this Apex programming language, we have some small principles. Like whenever we are writing that code by using Apex programming language, each statement in Apex programming should be ends with a semicolon. Generally, this is a common rule or the common principle of most of the programming languages. From the beginning of Pascal, it may be BASIC, it may be C, C++, Java, .NET, even though in our Apex programming also, the same principle, every statement in Apex programming should be ends with a semicolon. Okay, now, so each statement in Apex programming should be ends with a semicolon. Ends with a semicolon. This is the fundamental principle. Upon writing the code by using this Apex programming language, each statement, each and every line of code should be ends with a semicolon. It's a fundamental principle of Apex programming. This is semicolon is indicating this is the end of that statement. Okay, this semicolon is indicating this is the end of that statement. Next line, we are having some more new statements, so that here at the time of compilation, we'll be recognizing that.
Sir, with brackets also, sir?
No brackets here. Just now given like as in the bracket here.
Okay.
Okay. So now here in this case, whenever I'm going to be using this Apex programming, what we can do, we can perform all the operations, because all the DML operations you can do through Apex programming on bulk records. Not only on one record, we can perform the operations on bulk. Like for example, if I'm using the normal Salesforce instance, suppose if you want to delete the multiple records, is it possible? No. We have to open the first record, click on delete button, delete the record. And then open the another record, click on delete button, delete the record. Open another record, delete button, and then delete the record. Like that, record by record, record by record, record by record, we need to perform. Like the similar way, upon inserting the records also, just you have to click on this accounts tab or whatever the object in which you would like to insert the record, click on new button, enter the data, click on save. And then click on new button again, then form will be getting open, enter the data and click on save. And then one more, like that, record by record, record by record, record by record, we can able to insert. That means upon performing the DML operations, you know, insertions, updations, deletions, at that time we are performing the operations on each record separately, record by record, record by record, record by record, we are performing that. In this case, if you want to update some thousands of records, will it be taking more time, right? Yes. Upon deleting some lakhs of records, will it be taking more time, right? Yes. So now to avoid these kind of problems, we can go with that Apex programming. Through Apex programming, we can able to perform the operations on the bulk records in one shot. We can insert some bulk records. We can update some bulk records. We can delete some bulk records. We can undelete the bulk records. And we can able to merge the duplicate records also. We can perform all the DML operations on the bulk records in one shot through Apex programming language. So with the help of this Apex programming language, we can perform the operations on bulk records in one shot. That possibility is available. Now, by using Apex programming, we can perform all the DML operations on the object records. We can perform all the DML operations on the object records in bulk. In bulk. All the operations on the bulk records also we can say. All the operations on the bulk records. Bulk records at a time. That means what we can do, what are all the various DML statements are available? What are the DML statements are available generally? When you go to the normal databases, Oracle, SQL Server, anywhere, DML statements in the sense only 4. Like as insert, update, delete, select. These are the 4 DML statements. But in Salesforce, okay, select statement will not come under DML. So now here, as part of DML statement, so DML means what? Data manipulation language. Data manipulation. Data means records. Manipulating means performing operations. For that one, we are using a language that is called as DML, data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. So now, as part of this DML, what are the various statements are available? We can perform the various operations. DML operations means what? We are performing insert, update, delete, undelete, upsert, match. These are the various DML operations are available in Salesforce. As part of Salesforce, DML operations in the sense, okay, insert, update, delete, undelete, upsert, match. These are the 6 DML statements are available as part of your Apex programming. We'll see each and every functionality. So by using this Apex programming, we can insert multiple records in one shot. We can update multiple records in one shot. We can delete multiple records in one shot. We can undelete multiple records also in one shot. That possibility is available over here. So that whenever if you want to perform the operations on the bulk records at a time, we can go with the help of Apex programming. So now, by using this Apex programming, we can perform the operations on the bulk records in one shot. Now, so like the similar way, not only performing the DML operations on that, can we fetch the records from the object? Yes, that possibility is also available. So by using this Apex programming language, we can fetch the records from the object also with the help of a query language called as SOQL query language. SOQL, Salesforce Object Query Language. So not only insertion, not only updation, not only deletion, sometimes I want to see the records. What records are there inside my table? What records I have inserted in the past? I want to get that records. I want to fetch that records. For that one, we are using the help of a statement called as SOQL queries. Now, by using Apex programming, we can fetch the required records from the Salesforce objects. Salesforce objects with the help of SOQL queries. SOQL query language. SOQL query language. These are also called as SOQL queries, simply. So here SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language. SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language, so that we can able to fetch the records. Whatever the records are available inside that object, we can fetch those records with the help of this query language that is called as SOQL. Now, we can fetch the data. Not only all the records, we can fetch the required records information from the object by adding the various conditions. These all are the different features of Apex programming. We are going to be discussing all these concepts, different concepts. DML statements is a separate concept, and then SOQL queries is a separate concept. These are all of the different concepts we'll see as part of this Apex programming. Now, the next one. As part of this Apex programming, it is providing a search language also. It is providing a search language that is also called as a search engine. This is also called as a search engine. So whenever if you are searching for some content inside your Salesforce objects, whenever if you want to search for some content in the Salesforce objects, we are using a search engine called as SOSL, Salesforce Object Search Language. Okay, Salesforce Object Search Language, which is used to search for the required content in the multiple objects in Salesforce in one shot. But this kind of search engine is not available in any programming language as of now. Whatever the programming languages are available in IT industry as of now, in any of the programming languages, we don't have this kind of search engine. First time Salesforce has introduced this kind of search language, so which is very, very powerful to search for the required content in the multiple objects in Salesforce in one shot. Now, so by using Apex programming, we can search for the required content in the multiple objects, multiple Salesforce objects, with the help of a search engine called as SOSL. These are also called as SOSL queries. So now here the SOSL stands for Salesforce Object Search Language. Salesforce Object Search Language. So in this case, by using this SOSL queries, we can able to search for the specific content in multiple Salesforce objects in one shot. That possibility is available. Next. Now, so not only inserting the records, not only updating the records, not only deleting the records, not only fetching the records, not only searching for the records by using the search engine, by using this Apex programming language, we can integrate with some third-party systems also. Yesterday I told you, okay, by using this Force.com platform, we can integrate that Salesforce application with any external systems also. Okay, we can integrate the Salesforce applications with any third-party systems also. How we are implementing with the help of Apex programming language only. If you know this Apex programming, we can do all these things. These are the various topics, various concepts of Apex programming. These are all comes under Apex programming language. Now, so in this case, by using this Apex programming language, we can able to integrate that Salesforce application with the various external systems. That means with the various third-party systems also. That possibility is available. So for that one, Salesforce is providing two APIs. First one is REST API. Second one is SOAP API. These are the two APIs has been given by Salesforce, which is used to integrate the Salesforce application with any external systems. Now, in this case, by using Apex programming, we can integrate the Salesforce application with any external system. Any external system with the help of REST API and SOAP API. REST API and the SOAP API. These are the two APIs has been given by Salesforce. Here API means what? Application Programming Interface. That means a collection of ready-made classes. A collection of ready-made classes. API means Application Programming Interface. That means here, in order to interact with that application, okay, through programming, we are using the help of these classes. So API contains a collection of classes. Through those classes, we can able to interact with the third-party systems to exchange the data, to exchange the business logic, to exchange the functionalities. Now, that possibility is available over here. So in this case, as part of this APIs, REST stands for, what do you mean by REST? REST in the sense representational state transfer. Okay, REST stands for representational state transfer. SOAP stands for simple object access protocol. And the API stands for Application Programming Interface. Application Programming Interface. That means These are the ready-made classes which has been given by Salesforce. REST API means what? So it is providing some RESTful web services. These are providing some set of ready-made classes to connect to the third-party application through RESTful web services. So now SOAP-based, nothing but XML-based web services. So can able to connect to that XML-based web services through with the help of this SOAP API. So not only writing some code, not only inserting, updating, deleting, we can integrate your Salesforce application with any third-party systems with the help of this Apex programming. If you know this Apex programming, we can do all these things. Next. By using this Apex programming, we can implement the batch programmings also. That means whenever I'm going to be implementing the functionalities, whenever I'm processing the records, no need to include all the records under a single process. We can divide them to the various small batches. We can implement the batch processing along with that schedule processing also here. That means here we can able to implement some business logic and we can schedule that business logic to be run on based on some periodical intervals. Like as daily morning at 7 o'clock, okay, daily evening at 4 o'clock, every Saturday, Sunday morning at 2 o'clock, like that, we can execute some business logic to be run on based on some periodical intervals. So whenever if you want to implement some business logic to be run on based on some periodical intervals, then we can able to use the help of schedule programming and the schedule processing that is also possible as part of Apex programming. By using Apex programming, we can implement the batch processing. Which is also called as batch Apex, and schedule processing, that is also called as schedule Apex. We can able to implement the batch processing and the schedule processing with the help of this Apex programming language. So now here in this case, whenever we are going to be using this Apex programming language, what are the statements that we're writing? Each and every Apex programming language statement should be compiled by using a compiler. Okay, it should be compiled by using a compiler. Each Apex programming language statement should be compiled with an Apex compiler, and then it should be executed by using Apex runtime. Now, here you can raise a question. Sir, whenever I'm writing some code through Apex programming, will it be saving inside a file? Yes. What is the extension of that file? Each and every Apex class code will be storing inside a file with the extension .apxc. Okay. Now each Apex class code will get saved inside a file with the extension .apxc. APXC means Apex class. APX means Apex, C means class. And each Apex trigger code will get saved, will get stored inside the file with the extension .apxt. That means T means trigger, Apex trigger. Okay, Apex trigger. Now, so like for example, I'm preparing a resume. That resume I'm preparing by using Word document. Now, what is the extension of that file? .doc or .docx. If I'm preparing a plain text file by using Notepad, it is saving that file with the extension .txt. If I'm creating an image, it is storing that file with the help of an extension .gif or .jpeg, or it may be .bmp, whatever. Whenever I'm writing some code through Java programming, that code will be storing with the extension .java. Like the similar way, each and every Apex programming code, that means we're writing some code where inside that file. So what is that file extension? .apxc. If it is an Apex class, it will be storing inside that file with the extension .apxc. If it is a trigger code, it will be storing inside the file with the extension .apxt. Now, then where all these Apex classes information will get resides? Where all this Apex classes information will get stored? In which object it will store? There is an object. Now tell me, all the account records will store in which object? Account object. Lead records will store in which object? Lead object. Case records will store in which object? Case object. User records will store in which object? User object. Email templates will store in which object? Email template object. Like the similar way, all the Apex classes will store inside an object called as Apex class object. Apex class is a standard object in Salesforce, like as account, contact, lead, case. Like the similar way, Apex class is a standard table in Salesforce in which all the Apex classes information will be getting resides. Now, let me give the note point. All the Apex classes information will get resides inside the Apex class object. Apex class object. Whatever the Apex classes that we are preparing, all these Apex classes information will be getting resides inside that Apex class object. Apex class is a standard object in Salesforce. Now, so now here in this case, whenever I'm writing this Apex programming code, each Apex programming code should be compiled by using an Apex compiler. It should be executing by using an Apex runtime engine. So every Apex programming code should be compiled by using a compiler that is called as Apex compiler. It should be executed by using a runtime engine that is called as Apex runtime. These are the two components are available internally here. Now, so now here in this case here, if this is a class, okay, whenever we are going to be preparing the Apex classes are triggers. Apex class we have to invoke manually. Apex trigger will be executing automatically over there. This is the difference. Automatic invocation will be there inside the triggers, but in class we have to invoke it manually. Now, in this case, each Apex programming code should get compiled by using Apex compiler and should get executed by using Apex runtime engine. Then what exactly is Apex compiler? What exactly is Apex runtime? Where these will be available? How it will be executing internally? We'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see the Apex programming execution lifecycle. How an Apex program will get executed internally. We'll see the Apex programming execution lifecycle in tomorrow's session. Then we'll see what exactly is Apex compiler, what is the functionality of this one, what is this Apex runtime, what it will do. We'll see practically, and along with that, we'll see the fundamental basic concepts of Apex programming, like as the data types, all these things we'll see one by one. Okay, so now we'll see that Apex programming execution lifecycle tomorrow, and then we'll start the small fundamental elements of Apex programming, like as data types, variables, and then operators. Everything we'll see one by one practically. Okay, from tomorrow onwards. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.